Today we're going to show you how to install and where to install an expansion tank for a hot water heater. Here to there. Get all your equipment together, all the tools you're going to need, all your parts and supplies, so you don't have to go down to the hardware store again mid-project. So we're going to go through an install of expansion tank. So when I built, well, this house was built in about 1964, 1965. Expansion tanks really didn't start coming in until the mid-80s. The township here, well, Hazel Green, has recently switched over to a closed system. So there's a check valve at the meter coming in. So as hot water expands, it or heats up, it expands. Weird thing of physics. So we're going to be doing some interesting stuff here. So a couple things you got to do before you go ahead and start cutting pipes. So let's see if I get this camera to turn around. Here's a little selection of some leftover stuff I've had since I replumbed the house about 20 years ago. So we bought the extension tank. So first thing you're going to do is read your tank. Read your instructions. And for me, that's how I have to read them, even though I have a set of glasses. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and we'll take a pressure gauge. This is a little homemade one that I've cobbled together. We're going to go out to the outside faucet and see what it is. So normal PSI on a water line is going to be anywhere from 40 to 80 pounds of pressure. So here in the burbs, in the hood, we have water line main breaks, and they're fixing to replace it all. So get that all tight. Make sure there's nothing on in the house that can run water. So we'll have to slowly turn it on. And we are sitting at 75 pounds, which is fine. That's a bit on the high end. I just replaced one of the mains a couple weeks ago. I'll take that back off. And then we got a pre-charged tank. So most of the tanks come about 30 to 40 psi from the factory. So let's get that set up here, and we'll go ahead and. Sorry for the bad film work. You got two ends of this thing. That's the water side. That is your pre-charge side. So the reason we do this, we actually want to match, don't lose the blue cap. We actually want to match the internal PSI to our water pressure so you have a stable system. So in this, I've got two different types. I've got this one, which is okay. It's on the fly. I like this one, just old mechanical. So I have a pre-charge of this of 36 pounds, which means we need to get some more poundage in here. And a little compressor. What I'm doing is I'm watching the gauge drop out. Don't want the compressor to turn while we're doing this. We should be close. Oops. That's 55. I'm going to have to turn on the compressor so you're going to have some noise here. I got a bit too much in there. I'm about 85 pounds right now. Actually, one of the reasons I've got this, because even though it does it on the fly, so that is 50 pounds. Back to where we started, so we'll drop a little bit more in here. See, I pegged it. Put too much in. And we're going to be right on the upper end of that scale, right there. So now our expansion tank is set up. Don't have to do anything else with this until it comes time to install it. So all I'm going to do, go in here, and it's nice that I've got a utility sink right here, so that ends up working out well. So I've got shut-off valves here. This is the cold side coming in. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the hot there. Let that run out. I'm also going to pop this. So, not too worried about the water there. Another video we'll be putting in that drain line. That should be enough. One thing I forgot to mention is you always turn off the power to the unit you're working on, especially when you're doing electrical and plumbing at the same time. So let's see if we can get this in the shot here. Now comes the disassembly part. It's actually one of my favorites. So you'll notice that I got a pin, but I'm going to be reusing part of this. So this gives me a location for up. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pop this on. I've got a towel here just in case. Because this is so close to the wall, I actually have to put the T in and then up for 2 inches over. Now, I do have a stub going up to the attic space, and I thought about putting it in there, but I decided against it just because we have water main breaks out here fairly often, and the pressure changes every single time. It's there's that. And I'm going to go ahead and slice it right here. And you're asking, why would you cut it back here? Well, you'll see in a minute. You can do this with a sawzall, hacksaw. I happen to like these cutters. These cutters tend to leave a nice clean surface for working. That's it right there. Oops. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Okay. You also want to support the shut-off valve. While you're doing this part, and you can actually crush the pipe. So let's try it the other way. Sometimes you have to loosen it to tighten it. And that's that. So now we go over to my workbench and we'll start fabbing some stuff up just so you guys can see my process. First part of the process, we're going to go ahead and take this. Let's see it. It's a male and female. I've used it for something else before. We actually need to locate where everything is seated. So you do hand tight. Bring it up like you are, and tighten it all the way. This is important for later. I'm going to build most of this on the bench. When soldering or brazing pipe, generally try to stay away from the valve bodies, which is right behind this. So I'm going to keep the heat out of the valve body. There's another trick for that too. That's about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark the top of this, and it's top center. That'll be important for later. And now we can undo this and bring it over to the workbench. Lucky for me, my workbench is right there. Let's go ahead and flip this camera around. So there's our location. Don't worry, we'll redo that. So now I'm going to come out. So the original bend is there. It seemed to work okay. I'm actually going to bring it back a little bit because I need the space. Also this way, I'm not soldering here, but the next joint I want to solder, it's going to be where I'm cutting. Get that cord out of the way. Boom. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up the joints we know we're going to be using. So once again, wire brush. I'm just doing that to it. Now you can do this with a hand unit. You can do this with sandpaper. I just found this is the best way to get on the inside. side. Now I'm going to do the sandpaper on the part we're going to be using here. I'm just using some leftover 220 I had. I like to get on the inside of that too. That's just kind of a thing for me. Gets rid of any contamination. Now, get that part yet? So the way we're going to build this, top up like that. Get another piece of pipe here. And remember I said I only want to do 2 inches, but going in there, make a mark. Just put the thumb there. They actually feed in 3/4 of an inch each. So we go 3/4, 3/4, and that gives us 1.5 inches. So a 1/2 inch exposed. I don't like doing that too much. So what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and we'll go full 3 inches. Once again, taking the sandpaper, cleaning it up. We're going to clean this again. I don't want any contamination in there at all. It's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. And then my leftover piece from the other side of that is going to go right there. So we have that straight up and down. Works for me. Now we go do a test fit. We'll see if it works up on the tank. And back at the workbench. So those alignment marks that we made earlier, there and there, correspond to being up top. So that's going to be about it. So first thing you have to do, a little bit of flux. Flux, 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 flux. What that is, it's a minor acid. Slip that in. Get our alignment back. Now, I typically like to do it this way. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be heating the fixture, or the tee. The tee is actually thicker than the wall of the pipe. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to be using some plumber solder. Pick this up just about any hardware store. And let that cool. And we'll clean that up. Boom, boom. You don't really want to touch it because it is hot. Cool rag. My silver bead. And I'm just making sure that it's all good. We'll just let it sit and cool a few minutes. That way is a damp rag. Whole thing. This is why I did not want to do that up next to that. Looks like a good joint, good penetration all the way through. And if not, you'll have a leak and you'll have to redo it. So while we're waiting for this to cool, go ahead and prep the tank. As you know, we did the air in there before. We have the same PSI as our water pressure. And remember, since our threads are going this way, that's how we're going to roll it. For added safety, added protection. Pipe dope, great stuff. Where most of that will come off. Now go back over to the other water tank and start that process. Now the fun part begins. Well, it's all fun. that alignment mark needs to be up. Get that started. That pipe dope really locks that in. That's going to be it right about there. Good enough. Now, go ahead and solder up what we're going to solder. Like that. Now we're going to test fit our other piece. This is the part that we reused. Make sure that it'll work with our. See, that one's too short. That'll work. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this part right there, and hopefully it won't move when I start heating it. Wet rag. I'm not a professional plumber, but I am licensed. That should work. We will check it for leaks. If we have a leak, we'll just resolder. We're gonna let that cool. We can do the next phase. You guys are still here and we're on the home stretch, man. I got 2 more things to do. Charge the system, check for leaks, and we're good to go. So first thing we're gonna do, those. Yes, I did rewrap the nipple. Comes up out of the tank. We just hand snug that one. Get this one started. You did this right. You shouldn't have any leaks. Let's try. Oh, no leaks. Means we actually did it right the first time. Next. Get all the air out of your system. Got hot water. The last step, we're going to go ahead, put the breaker back on, and that is that.